A lot of people have asked me where I get this cool pie hat. If you're interested in your own, check out the link in my description. Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is Thursday, July 24th, 2025, and I lost another race yesterday to a scammer. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Yesterday's video contained some explanations about the new Pi purchase option in the user wallets, as well as addressing some rumors about a Binance listing as a result. So if you missed that video, it came out really late yesterday, so I'm just mentioning it now. So in case you missed that video, you might want to check it out if those things are of interest to you. But first, the metrics. As I just mentioned, my anti-scammer bot now has a record of 2 wins, 2 losses. And I lost a race yesterday, and I was really upset about it. I thought that I would win it. I felt really bad for the victim in this case. I feel bad for all the victims. I shouldn't say it's one. I feel worse about one over the other. I don't. I spent most of the rest of the day trying to figure out what went wrong and what I could do to make it better. So that's why yesterday's video was so late. I finally got around to doing it. I'm just about ready to put the finishing touches on some updates to the bot to help improve my chances of winning next time. And I've got an unlock coming in the next couple of days, so I'll keep you posted. The circulating supply is 7.7 billion pi. And oddly enough, there were 1,002 user accounts migrated yesterday, totaling 0.46 million pi. That's 460,000 in case you can't do the math. They're definitely testing something. And one thing I noticed in the data was that some of the migrations were significantly larger than the migrations that have been previously migrated. Up to this point, the accounts that have been migrated are relatively low pi count accounts. So I saw several in here that were quite large in comparison. I'm not saying whales. I'm just saying, 3,000-4,000 pi migrated. And I haven't really seen that too much since Open Mainnet. They're definitely testing something. I don't know what, but hopefully all will become clear soon. There is 43.4 million pi in the Pi migration wallet, and migrations have not yet resumed today. If they do, I'll be sure to let you know. Migrated unlocked rewards are at 2.54 billion pi, and there were 5.4 million pi unlocked the last 24 hours, and now free to be traded on the open markets. Looking at the price action, the Pi coin is currently trading at 44 cents, which is up 0.12% from this time yesterday. The market cap is down to 3.4 billion pi, which is down 2.8%. Really don't like seeing that. The daily trading volume is at $93 million, which is down 11.29%. And if you look here, again, I'm on the 7-day chart. We're pretty much back down to where we started before this slow rise up and then this peak here. So we seem to have a psychological barrier at around the 52 cent mark right now, and a floor of around 40 cents. I was on the charting session with Bullish Babe today, and as usual, I asked her to look up Pi and what she thinks, and to put it into her terms, that Pi is not looking great right now. It appears that it wants to form a triple bottom, which Pi loves to do. It loves to form these bottoms and then do nothing with it. But the general market environment right now is a little iffy. So there's not a lot to try to push this up, which is kind of surprising to me because the recent on-ramper rollout to me is a positive sign. This is yet another example where what should be positive news that should be bolstering the price does not appear to be having that effect. And I don't know why. It is what it is. And right now we can go one of two ways. If we break below the 40-cent mark, then who knows where we'll end up. But if we manage to get above the 52-cent mark, which in and of itself would be quite an accomplishment considering where we are right now, then, the sky's the limit. So we're just going to have to see how things go. It's up to you whether you want to get in on any trades on Pi right now. So trade at your own risk. Some interesting things I'm noticing with regards to my anti-scammer bot. Obviously, we know the scammers are out there and we know how they work. But I'm also noticing that we have wannabe scammers. And these are people who find themselves in position of user wallets, but don't have the means to execute on getting those unlocks before somebody else does. Now, they're not the owners of these wallets. They just happen to be in possession. And one of them yesterday reached out to me and tried to use a common tactic of high pressure. And basically they approached me with, "Oh my God, my Pi's unlocking in 40 minutes. I need your help right away." And that creates a sense of urgency. So I said to this individual, I said, "Go ahead. Here's my email. Contact me." He contacted me. And first thing I tell everybody that reaches out to me is the first thing I need to do is verify that you are the owner of this wallet. And I have a process for doing that. And I laid it out and I said, if you're quick, we can get you in and try to save the unlock. And never heard from that person again. And this is a common pattern. I've had quite a few people reach out to me looking for help and not be able to provide proof that the wallet is theirs. So in case you're wondering, don't even bother contacting me. I will not help anybody steal from anybody else. That's not what my bot is for. My bot is to save people from having their Pi stolen by the scammers. So I will take all reasonable measures to ensure that you are the owner of the wallet you're trying to get me to save. And if there's any doubt, I'll send you packing. So there's no such thing as a pressure tactic to me. The ticking clock is on you, not on me. So I will not compromise my integrity for a false sense of urgency. So as I mentioned, but yeah, it's just funny that, there's just a lot of bad people out there. And there are people who just, something went wrong in their upbringing or in their morals, because I don't know how people are just so cavalier about stealing from other people. I just don't get it. If I find a quarter on the floor, I'd look around to see if maybe somebody dropped it and I can give it back to them. You know what I mean? I don't just pocket it. It's just very strange. The world is a strange place. And what I'm finding, and I don't want to stereotype anybody, but I have noticed that the people who try to get me to steal for other people tend to come from two geographic regions. And I'm not going to say what they are, but so far, none of them have fallen outside of those geographic regions. So that's just funny. It just seems interesting. And oddly enough, they are the two geographical regions that have the highest concentration of Pi users. So maybe it's not a surprise. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But in any case, in the video yesterday, you probably saw the anti-scammer bot dashboard. It's nothing pretty, but it's just something that gives me a quick bird's eye view of what's going on and what's coming up. And I find it useful. But as I said, it was a loss and I felt really bad. But you can be sure at the end of the day, I didn't get to bed at any reasonable time. But I think my next attempt will have a much better shot because I know how I was beaten and I won't get beaten that way again. So I know I talk a lot about my anti-scammer bot, but there's not much else to talk about. But this is something that's important. This will help a lot of people. And the more success I get, the more people that will come to me. And that's a good thing because that means, more people are saving their Pi. Now, obviously, people are losing their pie by the millions every day. And obviously, they're not all coming to me for help. So maybe that should change. But anyway, don't panic. Stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi Network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.